My name is Karishma, and today I'll be taking you through a project I worked on that was part of the UX certification course on Career Foundry. I was the only designer on this project, and I'm going to walk you through my entire design process, how I defined the problem, and how I narrowed down my ideas to create the final solution. The brief of this project was to design a responsive web app with a mobile first approach that enables people to explore inspiration for tattoo designs based on preferences such as artist and style. Having no tattoos myself, I had to plunge into the minds of my potential users to understand what motivates them to get something so permanent and how their lives have changed after getting inked. Carrying out a competitive analysis gave me a broad sense of the products on the market and guided me towards a problem statement. Getting inked is an incredibly personal experience, and there is a lot of emotion wrapped up in the decision to get inked. The challenge was to address the complex and emotional element of the inking experience and to stand out from the competitors. The goal of this project was to break out of the way tattoos are typically perceived. My research inferred that tattooed people are generally perceived to be dark minded and mysterious, and that is not true. InkTank is an attempt to provide a new, fresh, and positive perspective of tattoos. I'm going to go through my design process and the steps I took to arrive at the final solution. Throughout this project, I used the design thinking approach, which enabled me to continuously test and iterate solutions, keeping in mind my users' needs and pain points. I began my research by conducting a survey with 10 ink lovers and getting a few insights at an early stage. I got to know that there are a lot of people out there who have tattoos beneath shirt collars, long hair, sleeves, and socks. It got me wondering, why do people not flaunt their tattoos, something that they have spent so much thought and money on, and hide them instead? I continued my research by conducting 3 user interviews in order to get more insights into a better understanding of the problem. In addition, I asked 10 people who do not have tattoos what they think of tattoos. What I found was that participants who had tattoos expressed how getting inked had changed their lives for the better. However, that is not how tattoos are perceived by others. It was interesting to know people's general opinion of tattoos. While some think that they are a great style statement, others think that they should be done only if there's a meaning behind it. On the other side are people who do not like the very idea of having a tattoo and judge others who have one, people who think that tattoos are something negative. Then came the define stage, where I created 2 personas based on the findings from my research and referred to them throughout the entire process. I used the user journey mapping, which helped me visualize the steps users take in order to accomplish a goal. I then analyzed the user flows and task analysis of each persona and designed a sitemap. I recruited participants for the card sort and was able to reorganize categories and subcategories and arrive at a refined sitemap. I then brainstormed and designed multiple solutions in the form of low fidelity wireframes using pen and paper. With hand sketched wireframes, I began to iterate my way into a high fidelity prototype. At each fidelity stage, I conducted small usability tests to either validate my design decisions or identify areas of conflict. Eventually, I developed a high fidelity prototype which I used for usability testing. After testing, I sorted out the data I collected using affinity mapping and rainbow spreadsheet, which helped me organize the information I gathered and also helped me recognize the most crucial errors. I organized these errors by priority level to determine what needed to be fixed immediately and what could be put off for later. Once I fixed all the errors, I began designing the final screens on Figma. With the help of UI elements, I was able to better highlight the key features of InkTank. Ink level feature. This is a ring around the profile picture so that users know how inked each one is. The color of the ring also helps distinguish artists from non-artists. Augmented reality feature. This enables users to view ink on their body in real time. Go local. This feature enables users to send their ideas to local artists and receive proposals from them, thereby supporting local businesses and startups. I then established a design language to refine the design of the interface, maintain consistency, and bring together the personality of InkTank. I used a vibrant color palette to provide users with a new, fresh, and positive outlook of tattoos. InkTank's competitor apps use shades of black, white, red, and grey. To stand out in the market and to support my research about tattoos being an expression of hope and optimism in people, I used a play on the primary color palette, red, yellow, and blue, to break out of the typical way tattoos are perceived. I ensured that all my wireframe layouts were balanced with a 4-column grid and also supported responsive themes for different screen sizes. I used a 12-column grid for desktop. I chose one typeface for the entire app to keep it simple. SF Pro is a large font family that works well in all sizes and weights. I use segmented navigation on top with highlighters relevant to the current screen of the app, and I used 5 elements for the bottom navigation. I use simple icons and ensure that they provide a touch-friendly experience. I also ensured that I met the WCAG standards of designing for all by using icons to convey information to users who are colorblind. I assigned fixed ratios to image and profile picture sizes to maintain consistency. These are my final screens. My first UX project, InkTank, is an initiative to mirror the positivity tattoos inflict upon people. This journey has taught me the benefits of listening and the value of great research in the building of a brand. I learned that while it is important to stand out from the competition, it is essential to question what we can do better for people and send across a meaningful message to better the society. In response to the questions given, have you given feedback on someone else's designs before? What about receiving feedback? Yes, I have given and received feedback. I believe that feedback brings in another perspective and provides opportunity for improvement. While giving feedback, I not only point out the areas of improvement and provide suggestions, but I also make it a point to mention the things that I like about the design. While receiving feedback, I always keep an open mind and try my best to analyze their perspective. If something can be done better, I'm always up for it. How would your teammates describe you as someone to work with? It's difficult to speak for myself, but I would like to believe that I am hardworking, willing to help, and fun to work with. Tell me about a difficult project or tell about something going wrong and how you reacted. I recently worked on an app that empowers people to learn new vocabulary. And what happened was that with the findings of my research, I drafted a generic problem statement and began ideating. I found myself trying to solve multiple problems and addressing various pain points of users, which blew the scope of the project out of proportion. I realized that I needed a smaller focus group and that I had to start over with my research. This made me zero down on a target audience of bloggers. Although I lost time in this process, this kind of helped me effectively design and cater to the needs of a specific group and made me learn the importance of having a target audience. Come up with your own question you could ask the interviewer. The questions that I would like to ask the interviewer would be, what do you love about working here? What's the team structure and who does the UX team report to? Can you describe a typical day split up by type of activity for this role? And how long do projects take to launch?